Wondering what crypto miner hosting is and why you need it? If you're tired of dealing with high heat, constant noise, and skyrocketing electric bills from running your crypto miners at home, we've got the solution. Welcome to Terra Hosting. We make crypto mining hassle-free. Our top-tier facilities ensure your operations run 99% uptime. Need help? Our 24/7 support team and repair services are always ready to assist you. Got a broken machine? We offer RMA assistance to get you back on track as fast as possible. While you wait for your unit, Terra Hosting will loan you a similar model so that you don't lose hash rate, keeping your profits coming in. Looking to expand your farm? Our clients get significant discounts on mining hardware. Make the smart move to Terra Hosting. Visit terrahosting.io today and experience stress-free crypto mining.
What is going on, guys? Welcome to the live stream. What's going on, Payne? Thanks for joining me.
Of course. How are you? Haven't talked for a while.
I know it's been a little while. Well, welcome, chat. Welcome, Payne. Thanks for coming to hang out with us today. We got a quick live stream for you guys, and we're going to talk about script, Dogecoin, miners, and the works. But before we do, Payne, do you just want to give a quick introduction to my audience who's like, who is this guy on the screen, as to who you are with Elphapex and what you do for the team?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first of all, thanks for having me back on the live again. I think the last time we did it was perhaps a few months ago when things are still a bit slower, right? But obviously, with what's been going on, it's good for the entire market. Well, my name is Payne. I'm the head of business development for Elphapex. And I sit in New York, and now I'm currently actually traveling to Dallas for the Blockchain Summit organized by TBC. So super excited to be here. That's why you're seeing this background. Figured it's a little better one than the hotel room. So yeah, but obviously, we've been we've known each other for quite a bit now, and we worked on a few product reviews, and thank you for doing that. And also just want to say that I feel like, every time, I watch your live, I come up here, your production becomes, better. I love all the intro, all the effects. It's looking really, really great.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that for sure. Yeah, I think the last time you and I saw each other was Mining Disrupt, which feels like it wasn't even that long ago, to be honest with you, because of like the next Mining Disrupt's coming up quickly. But I think that's the last time I actually saw you was down in Miami.
For sure. Yeah. This industry definitely feels like you're living, dog years, every year, 7 years. A few months ago, it feels like a few years ago already. That's kind of how fast this industry goes.
Yeah, absolutely. No, do agree with you. Yeah, it's wild to think like where we were last time, just saw you in Mining Disrupt from just where the market was, Mining Disrupt last time was good versus the previous one, which was kind of rough, being like right in the middle of a bear market. Last time it wasn't too bad, we were looking pretty good. But now, it's going to be wild. Over 90,000. I woke up this morning and checked my phone. Isn't it weird? It's the first thing I do. It's like, oh, 92K. Awesome. Fantastic. We're going to have a great day today. And where we are today, which has got to be wild.
Yeah. I'm sure that's what most people do in this industry when they wake up, is to take price, right? And you're off to a great day. It's a great start of the day. Yeah, no, definitely. I feel like we were definitely more hopeful, when we met in Mining Disrupt, but now we're just full on, full momentum going forward, right? Which is
Yeah.
absolutely great to see.
Yeah, which is awesome. So guys in chat, we are going to take some Q&A throughout, so feel free to ask questions. If not, I'm just going to enjoy a conversation with Payne and hang out with him, which I think will be great. So diving into things a little bit with your group, you guys have been talking about the DG Home 1 for quite a while now. You actually had it first on display last at Mining Disrupt, which was awesome to take a look at it. I do like the avenue you guys went of kind of polling the community on the design you went with. Tell me a little bit about that, because you actually had 3 different looking concepts to start with.
For sure. That's a great question. So the version that you saw on Mining Disrupt earlier this year was kind of the first design, right? If we could call it the draft design, especially when it comes to the exterior. Then because it's a home miner, right? The whole taking one step back, the whole I guess the main goal of having a home miner is really there are 2 main goals to us, right? Number one is to empower more people to get into mining, right? For example, if you have a industrial ASIC, right? Like if you don't have a facility or power that you can use, it's very hard, right? To run it at home, especially, or if you have a girlfriend, right? You probably the relationship probably jeopardized there because how noisy it can be, right? So really, the first goal is to empower more people to get into mining, right? That's the easiest way to have a home miner that you can run a home, that you can set up your pool yourself, you can monitor the revenue, all that kind of good stuff, right? And eventually, maybe you can graduate into running it at the industrial scale. And one of the, I guess, a fun story I want to tell here is one of our customers. This is a church group, right? So they have some power, some space on their property that they want to utilize to generate some.
That's awesome.
To support the church operations. So he approached me saying, hey, we'd love to get into mining, but never done this before, no experience. So we would with buying a few home ones and then run it that way because it's easy, and then we can show the rest of the board at the church that, hey, this is actually
like a proof of concept.
Exactly. And then they'll set up the infrastructure, and then they'll consider getting into mining industrially. So we've been in contact. I've been trying to help them to kind of figure out the best path forward. Right. I think that's like a very good example of how kind of we are already achieving this goal, right, by having this product as a consumer facing product. And obviously that helps unlock a different segment of the market as well, right? Because we're going to be, just a little preview, we're going to be at CES next year in Vegas. So that's a completely different market segment for us as well. Right. It's really more consumer facing. It is for like everyone right out there who can just use it as a decoration, even as an ornament at home, as a conversation starter, right? You put it in your bar, put it in your garage, put it in your living room, your office. When you have friends over, it's a great conversation to have as well.
Yeah, definitely. Mine's in my garage right now. It's helping to heat my garage right now. On my workbench, heating my garage, for the winter, which it works out great. And I think it's fantastic. So this, I guess it was this past week, we actually got a chance to see the unit on my site, on my webpage, YouTube. Actually got my hands on an early one, which was great. Great experience with it. Works fantastic. So a question for you, chat had come up on when do these actually start shipping? And I guess that answer is also going to vary a little bit because coming from you guys versus like resellers could vary. Is that correct?
That's correct. So we've been, as we've been doing some pre-sales of our December futures, right? So Home One will officially, and for the first time, start to be delivered in December. And obviously we'll continue to deliver them, starting from December. Yes.
That's cool. That's cool. I know people are excited. That's like right here. That's like 10 days away. Not even.
It's only a few, like 2 weeks away, which is crazy, right? Like, the time feels, it goes by very fast, and specifically.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's wild for me to think about the fact of like you guys were already, I mean, you guys have been, this product has been in development for quite some time, I would think. you know, it's wild. Let me link you. I'll link you the chat if you're interested. That's what you were just messaging me about. So let me bring that up real quick. I'll bring that up. I'll send it to you. But yeah. So anyways, it's crazy to think that you guys were in development of this like a while ago, and then you had it on display at Mining Disrupt, 3 different ones, kind of to be determined type of deal. And how wild is it for your team to the bull run kind of kicks off? We break 90K, and all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, we're going to release a home miner that mines script that is competitive in the market right now. Like, how wild was that for your team? Like the timing of, because I know your timing of release was determined well before the 90K happened. You know what I mean?
For sure. So, you know this, right? So as a company, we've been in existence for 4 years, and we've, although we only launched our first product, which is DG1, earlier this year, right, in February. So kind of the philosophy, the idea, the core identity that we have is to, obviously, number one, invest, a lot of resources into R&D, into development, right?
Yeah.
And we spend time to do iteration, to do improvement. So when we do launch any product, it's a good product. And number three is we have a very forward-looking and robust product lineup, right? I'm sure we're going to talk about the Hydro one as well later. But we obviously, no one can really time the market in a sense, and we're not here trying to time the market. I think, like you said, it just.
What do you know that we don't, Payne? What do you know that we don't? Come on now.
I'll be separately. No, I'm just kidding. But so it happened. We're launching this during the bull run, which is amazing, right? Which even helps with kind of the first goal more, right? Which is to get more people into mining, right? So like now with the price going crazy, more people are naturally interested, and now we have a very low entry for people to try, right? And that's also another reason why you mentioned this earlier as well, is we kind of were letting the people to decide, right, which design we want to go with, right? We did that campaign, and thank you for helping out there. It's really to have the consumer decide what they want, and then the first batch we're launching in December, it's going to be one of the hopefully many designs we're going to have, right? Just like when you're buying a pair of Nike shoes, you can choose black, yellow, whatever color you want, right? To wear, and that's kind of the goal as well.
Fantastic. Do you know off the top of your head, and I won't hold you to it, how many you actually have releasing in your December batch? Like just a number, like is it 2,000? Is it 5,000? Do you know what number that is?
Oh, in terms of number, I cannot share with you.
That's fine. You know what? I'm going to ask. So you know what? All you can say is can't share. Not a big deal. Totally get it.
We're getting, so this is what we're going to say is we've been getting a lot of interest, and we've taken, quite a bit of order. Kind of globally, right? Like even even in New York where I live, it's in the winter, it gets extremely cold, as you know, or Canada, and I'm probably gonna get one for myself as well, right? Just to it generate a little bit of heat, doesn't make any noise, and obviously it makes some Doge, right? Which I'm happy to hold on to. So it has a very wide range of I guess like wide range of applications, right, for people to use.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So when I got mine, of course, I opened mine up instantly. Like that's just how that's where my mind goes as a home miner. How does this thing work? So it has an AIO system in it, with a kind of a water block system on the actual chips itself, that go to a pump. You have your radiator in there and fans, which is fantastic. Based off, and you may or may not know this answer, but as there's only literally been a few that have actually gone out in the public so far, but my community miners, the pumps here, any expected lifespan on these things that you've gotten from testing, or and how is like repair going to be handled, especially with these pumps?
For sure, good question. So for us, again, right, like when we launch any product, we want to make sure it's top tier quality. So, and if, even for especially for our industrial miners, we've delivered thousands and tens of thousands of units actually already. The issue rate overall we've seen is actually very low. It's lower than 0.5%, right?
Wow.
And for industrial miner, obviously it's a bit more complicated, right? Design wise, structure wise, compared to the home miner. So I can only imagine, right, the issue rate will be lower than that. And obviously, if there are any issues, we have our in North America, we have our official repair center outside of Dallas, right? So that's where you can always go to. And most of the times, it can be. It's not even like a technical issue. It's more like maybe like an operational issue, right? So when that happens, we'll have 24/7 customer support that you can access to our website, which I've personally used quite a few times. It's proven to be very, very, very good. So I'm very happy with it. But those are kind of the different methods we can support our customers from that perspective.
Yeah, definitely. So let's talk a little bit about the price here. So the price has gone up since its original release. However, the market has shifted. And as we know, as miners, prices definitely are reflective of the market. Surprisingly, though, we haven't seen the price change as aggressive as what we've seen with like other competitors like Bitmain with the L9 and other ones like that, where the price has really gone up. Now, that's also been alluded to supply as well being limited. You guys increased yours, about $400 or $500 total in that regard since its original release. Is this where we expect that price to stay at least for the next few weeks, or kind of what are your thoughts on that? Or will we see it change often based off the day-to-day numbers for Doge?
Yeah, it's a great question. So I think on a high level, we definitely always want to stay competitive, right? It doesn't matter if it's from our perspective or from the pricing perspective. And again, right, I guess one of the reasons why our price, especially for this product, hasn't moved much is because, again, it's a consumer-facing product, right? We're here to empower more people to get into mining. And the second reason I didn't get a chance to mention earlier is the more people that can't mine, the more decentralized this network is, right? That's
true.
So in the Bitcoin world, right, like you're seeing a potential trend of having the biggest miners or biggest pools, right, in a sense, control the majority of the hash rate. And kind of another main goal we have with this is, right, the more people who can mine, the more decentralized the network really becomes. But anyways, so that's another kind of philosophy we keep in mind for this product, right? We don't want to obviously make it too expensive, right? We want to make it affordable. We want to make it easily accessible. And that's the reason. That's the reason why. And then will it move with the coin price? Obviously, just like all the other miners. But we try to, again, make this more stable, more easily accessible.
Yeah. I would say from an outside perspective, looking in based off of the community hype interest around this product, I don't hear a lot of people griping over the price. Home miners, that's the first thing they look at is price. And so I'm pleased you guys have at least kept it under $2,000, even though you're there by a very tiny bit, which I think is good. Based off of what I've seen with this product, just interest in it, things like that. I would say your launch is probably going to be pretty dang successful just based off of the initial interest for pre-sale. Does Elphapex have, based off of just the pre-sale results, has it sparked conversation on like, we could come out with some more home miners just based off of this initial launch?
Another great question. We have a very robust product lineup and it's very forward-looking. Stay tuned.
That answer is yes. Then I was gonna
stay tuned. We're gonna have different. I want to call it different variations of our consumer-facing product.
Okay. I like it. I think that's great. Somebody in chat actually was asking about a discount code. So it actually is a great transition. So Payne has provided me one $200 off discount code on their website. So I'm going to be dropping that in chat here later on in the conversation as things do progress. So this product has been awesome. Seems to have done really well for you guys. And I actually brought this one to your attention yesterday, which was the Flu miner. This miner, competitive miner, really funny how the timing of this unit just came out. No one's heard of this company before, which makes it a challenge. I had boatloads of people reaching out to me like, is this legit? because no one's heard of the company before. And you and I kind of chatted a little bit about it. And what were your initial thoughts on the 𝐓𝐿 Miner 5.3 gigahash, 1200 watts?
So to be honest, like probably most your audience, I've to be frank, I've never seen this before until you sent it to me. I don't want to make too much comment on this without knowing much about the company, knowing much about the product. Right?
Exactly.
But, I think in general, the good thing is, like we talked about this before as well, is the more, good competition there are in the market, the better it is for the market, the better it is for the end consumer, right? For the miners. So we welcome all, similar product or competing product, right? Because that's gonna be the main driver to drive anyone forward, to drive any manufacturer forward, right? If we can continue to make all our products more efficient, eventually the beneficiary would be the miners, right? So again, cannot comment too much on this. It looks like interesting, form, or like the shape of it. So to me it looks pretty fresh.
Looks awfully familiar, right? Looks awfully familiar. But yeah, no, I mean, I agree with you. I think competition is good. I think where a lot of, I could guarantee you most of my community hasn't taken the step of interest in this because they don't know, they've never heard of the company 𝐓𝐿 Miner. So like as home miners and my community, we're very skeptical on these new companies coming in, especially on timing. On like, hey, the DG Home 1 comes out, there's a lot of interest, and oh, here's one that has higher performance, of course, higher watts, but is definitely in question there for sure. And that's where we go. I have very much found, we were the same way, when Elphapex first came out. It's like, who's Elphapex? And it's like, wait, what is this miner they're coming out with? So I totally get it 100%. I'll be interested in seeing if this gets in the hands of any content creators, just to go, this product is legit and it's real and it works and it doesn't fall apart within a week.
Yeah, no, it's funny you mentioned that. We definitely went through that phase, right, of who Elphapex, and honestly I would say we're still in that phase, right? But I think the important thing is to be consistent, right? To be consistent with what we do, to be consistently doing the right things, taking the right steps, always showing up, always, have something that's coming up, having reliable service, capability, all that kind of stuff, production capability. So yeah, it's definitely a tough road, but it does take time. But again, right, like if you do have good product, if you do, if you are a legit provider, then obviously it's good for everybody.
Yeah, definitely. And does the and you may or may not know this, but does the DG Home 1 have the same chip design as like the DG1 Plus? It's just at a smaller scale.
Yes, very similar. Obviously, we reference and adapt on a lot of our chip designs in a similar way, especially for these first gen product. So yeah, similarities there.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I don't know if you have more questions on Home 1, but just kind of two things I want to mention for Home 1.
Please go for it.
When we do deliver the batch in December, we'll also have an app, right, created for a better user experience, right? So right now,
that's cool.
The way you will connect it now is the same way you will configure your DG1 Plus, right, which is the software on Windows, and then the Elphapex tool, right? You can use that as well. But for consumer-facing product, we'd like to have something on your phone that you can, remotely control and all that kind of good stuff. So we'll have that delivered with the product in December, which to me is very cool. And then number two
is the app used for setup as well, or is it just for monitoring?
That's a great question. I believe it's going to be for both, but I can come back to you and I
was just curious on setup, because I know like traditionally a lot of home miners where like your demographic is like new people stepping into the space, and they're so used to apps that like I found a lot of people, a lot of other companies I've worked with where like you download the app, you start it, you plug in your miner, it sees it connects to the ad hoc wireless, and then you go through your setup. But I wasn't sure, but that is a cool way to monitor it. Will the monitoring work outside your home, like on the go, and it could tell you like everything, or no?
Yeah, I think the overall goal is to make it as simple as possible, right? So for
Okay.
someone who was never mined before, we want everything to be as straightforward and as easily set up as possible, right? That includes, setting up your pool, monitoring your revenue, monitoring the hash rate, all that kind of stuff, right? If you don't have a Windows laptop, for example, right, we want you to be able to set everything up through your iPhone, right? For example, so we wanted to make it as easily accessible as possible. That's the overall goal.
That's awesome. Especially as you guys release more home miners, you can monitor all of them right on the app, which is nice.
Exactly.
And works out really well. Man, I didn't get that with mine. I got mine early. I didn't get this app. That's cool. Happy to hear that.
You'll get that, of course.
That is cool. That's cool.
The second thing I want to mention is, you mentioned the price here, and then obviously the price went up a little bit over the past few weeks. But if you do the calculation, home one right now is making about $10 a day, right? So let us say you're buying it for $2,000, maybe a little bit more, right? Plus shipping. You're still making your money back within a year, right? With about 200 days. How amazing is that, right? This is not even an industrial.
Under a year.
It's not even
under a year. Yep.
You're making it back within a year, and then you start making money, $10 a day, right? Assuming the price stays at the same level, or if it goes up, even better, right? So
hey, it's going up. It's going up, Payne. So come on now. That's the mindset we have to have.
Going up as we speak. But it's really to me it's really because that's kind of my forte, right? Is to dealing with numbers, looking at the network hash rate, the difficulty, how do the ROI calculation. So even to me, it's a breath of fresh air, right? Looking at a home product that have less than your ROI, which to me is a pleasant surprise.
Something we didn't see with the Elphapex DG1 and DG1 Plus was multiple mining modes. So like full hash rate, low power mode, things like that, which have become an industry standard. And I didn't see this with the Elphapex DG Home one. Some people in chat had mentioned about like, hey, is there any opportunity for a low power mode? Even though 630 is low, some people are looking for lower. And then on the flip side of that, somebody even said like, hey, is there an opportunity for like a high power mode? To overclock it even more. Is your team experimenting with different modes out there as an opportunity, or are you guys more interested, and I get it from a QA perspective, from a handling perspective, of just one mode across the board?
Yeah, another good question. So I think for the products we currently have, right, which are DG1, DG1 Plus, and DG Home 1, we currently do not offer any manufacturing let's say over spec, right? Because it does have QA and warranty implications. And then for home miner, obviously if you're putting it at home, and this DG Home 1 is the another main feature is very quiet, right? It's that sound. You can't really hear it. Right? So if you over spec it, it might make it a little noisier, which kind of that feature. But the things we have been experimenting with our industrial miners are immersion and obviously hydro, right? So maybe this is a good segue to the hydro product, but maybe just a little preview. For the hydro product, we're going to be offering 3 different modes, right? The low power mode, the regular mode, and the overspec mode. Obviously for hydro, people have many different user scenario for it, right? Let's say if you're mining in Norway, there are a lot of like maybe heat reuse scenarios. Maybe you just want overspec, you want the outlet temperature to be very high, you want the inlet temperature to be high as well, or you're just mining a hydro, somewhere in Texas, for example, right? You don't really care about the outlet temperature. You just want it to run as efficiently or as powerfully as possible. So there's a bit more user scenarios, and there's a bit more room to play with, in a sense, with the hydro product.
Yeah, that's interesting. That I have a bunch of questions about the hydro, but wanted to get to a few in chat, and then we'll definitely pivot over to that. So someone had asked on the DG Home 1, if you purchase through Elphapex's website, is there import tax on the $2,000 purchase?
Good question. So what we will do is before we're ready to ship, we'll provide a separate quote, a DDP quote, to the customer, right? So that will take care of all the customs, all the tariffs.
Okay. Okay. So it's almost a two-stage process. You'll purchase, and
Correct.
that you'll pre-order, I guess at this point is what you could call it. And then when it's time to ship, you'll get an email that says like, hey, here's what that would be. So import tax is not included in the $19.99. It would be the import tax plus any shipping.
Yeah, let's call it shipping. Let's just call it shipping cost.
Shipping. Okay. Yeah. Shipping in general. Perfect. Okay. Good to know there. Definitely helpful for the community. Others had asked about purchasing on the site, as one of the hurdles they've run into is requiring KYC to purchase from your website. What is the business add or value to that? Because that's new. That's new for us from the mining world of needing KYC to make a purchase versus more on the pool side is where we see KYC.
Yeah, we are very, very compliant company. Compliant company. Yep. We want to do, again, we want to do things the right way, right? We don't want to go forward super quickly and then fall, right? So KYC, what it does is really help us to ensure that all the payment we receive are compliant as well, right? Especially, when it comes to a larger order, or if it's, doesn't matter if it's paid by credit card or whatever it might be, right? We want to make sure it's compliant. That's why we have this step, which is a very necessary step. I do understand that our website, the KYC process, only opens to currently only opens to certain regions, right? And there might be some things that we're still improving on, right? We're aware of the issues and we are improving on them very actively. So if right now you're not able to place an order through the website, feel free to directly reach out to me. Perhaps we can, share my contact information again. Hobbyist. People.
Yeah, I'll put his contact information directly down below, but also just feel free to reach out to me on any platform, social media, Discord, or whatever, and I'll get you connected with Payne. There was also another question in chat from Jeff on bulk order discounts. I would imagine there is some availability there. So I think if you reach out to me, get you connected with Payne based off of what that is, I think that could go a long way. There's discounts in every bulk order. It just depends how many we're actually talking about here. I would imagine for sure. So pivoting over a little bit to this hydro miner here, I saw this and it kind of made me laugh. I did have an opportunity to see it at Mining Disrupt. You guys did have it there, but you didn't really have any like big metrics advertised. You just kind of said like, hey, here's something that was coming soon. Then we saw this yesterday, and I really do like how your team put like frosted glass over the hash rate to be like tricky, like which I thought was really funny. So it's funny. We're gonna go from talking about the DG Home 1, which is absolutely a home miner, to the DG Hydro 1, which I think you and I could both agree the demographic is not a homeowner. Would you agree?
Yeah. I mean, unless you have racks already.
And power. That's a lot of power. I mean, you're talking about a dedicated 30 amp 240 volt just for one of these miners.
Yeah, for sure. Well, yeah. First of all, I want to give a quick shout out to our marketing team. Right, we have a killer marketing team, and we have lots and lots of great design style graphics. Right, for example, my background right now, this is one of my all-time favorites.
Oh, really? That's cool.
Yeah, so everything we do is in-house. We have a killer marketing team, so thank you guys. But for the hydro, right, like I think again, right, there are very specific user scenarios, and then also, right, if you talk to some of the larger miners, one of the kind of the sense that we got is a lot of them think hydro is the future, right? For different reasons. So again, right, I think it's just another different segment of the demographic, right? Like when it comes to the miners, and maybe a bit more in Europe, perhaps, right? Maybe gonna be a bit more in the States here as well. But it all depends, I guess, on the need, right, or on how and why you want to get into hydro mining.
Sure. No, absolutely get it. Somebody had asked in chat, will we see a hydro solution for like the DG1 or the DG1 Plus as kind of like a very much what we've seen with Bitmain, where it's kind of a ready to go more. It is on the industrial side, but a hydro miner, it's a little more beefed up. Will we see kind of an option for that, or are you going to have dedicated models moving forward?
So you're asking if we're gonna have a version that's adapted from a DG1 Plus or DG1?
Correct. So for example, like they might have like Bitmain has like an S19 XP, let's say, like traditional air cooled, kind of like what you guys would have, and then they also have an XP Hydro. So it's like the same model. It just has the Hydro block on the back of it and ready to be adapted into a more industrial size.
Gotcha. That's an interesting question. I don't have the answer for you right now.
Okay, sure.
I think that's an interesting idea, right?
Yep.
But the goal, as you can probably see from this poster here, the form
Yeah.
factor for the DG Hydro 1 is the same form factor as the micro BT products, or the micro BT Hydros. Again, the goal is to, we're not here to make the racking manufacturers redesign their racks, right? Like we want to be able to
Smart. I like it.
To have, whatever existing equipment you have in terms of racking, you can plug in and play, right? Same idea for DG1, DG Home 1. DG1 Plus. It's the same form factor, as the majority of the air-cooled miners out there, right? Where you don't have to modify your racking, you can just plug in and play, right? So we want to make everything as simple as possible, as straightforward as possible.
Yep. Great question. So someone asked in chat, is the DG Hydro 1 Elphapex's competitor for the L9, or is there going to be another air-cooled competitor down the road from Elphapex?
Yeah, great question. So the Hydro 1 is obviously a different track, right? It's hydro cooling, it's not air cooling, and like I've been saying, we have a very robust product lineup, very future looking as well.
I like that answer, Payne. I like it. I mean, I like it.
Yeah, rest assured, we, you will
all
hear
right.
from us.
All right, that chat, that's a yes. They have something in the pipeline. We'll just put it out there. I like it, which is cool. So yeah, I guess other questions there. Chat, feel free to ask additional questions if you guys have them. Someone else in chat was asking, is Elphapex considering doing hosting, considering electric cost is not cheap? Is that something you guys have considered as an option?
Amazing question. So we, to us, our philosophy, or kind of our goal is to empower all the miners out there, right? Not just the bigger the pubcos, the bigger miners, pubcos. We do work with them. We love to work with them, and also we want to just be more consumer facing as well, right? But we've actually, that's a great question, because we've actually discussed that quite a bit internally, and just in terms of, hey, like even for Terra hosting, right? Like I'm pretty good friend with Michael, and I think the capability to take on, 1 unit, 2 units, 5 units, 10 units for anybody, I think that's amazing, right? Even though the cost can be a little higher, because obviously it takes more, OPEX to maintain, to run the miners. But we stay tuned on that as well. We've been discovering, we've been exploring. I think the goal is to have something similar, is to have some capability or service similar to that, where we can say, hey, if you want to buy our product, we can host for you, right? And we can have a model like that, right?
I mean, especially I've seen a lot of companies start to partner just with like they almost call them like affiliates groups, and it pretty much like at the time of checkout, I've seen you can have it shipped to like myself at home, or you could have it shipped to a hosting facility, and they'll have like a list of like, here, click this button for Terra hosting, click this button for whoever, and it allows them to go ahead and actually then it gets shipped directly there with like your name on it and stuff. So it doesn't, I get it, you guys are a manufacturer of crypto mining hardware. That is your niche, that is your specialty. So like trying to be like, hey, are you going to open a mining farm and then offer hosting? Like you're talking about now going into a whole nother area of expertise, which is why there's people that are specialized for sure.
Yeah, we definitely see, I'm a very, I think I'm a very creative person, and the team here is as well. Is very, we're very open-minded, so we like to explore all the options. But we do need to take things, one step at a time, right? Obviously, now with the coin price doing so well, I think maybe that opens more door for us to move things a bit quicker. But again, right, these are all the possibilities we considered. And that I think we are, actively working on, some possibilities down the road.
Yeah. No, I think that makes sense. Let's see here. Other questions. Okay, a bigger loaded question here from Patrick Murphy. I'm going to answer that in a minute. We have about 15 minutes left in the stream, guys. I'm going to put up details. So Payne and I have come up with a fun little game for you guys. They're going to be, Payne's giving away one $200 off coupon code on their website. So Payne, it can only be used once. So it's going to be dropped in chat. I'm literally just going to drop it to the wolves and let you guys fight over it as to who gets it and redeems it the fastest. So what I would recommend in the last 15 minutes of the stream is go over to the website for Elphapex. Once you're there, sign in and be ready to check out and redeem this code. And then I'm just going to drop it at the end of the stream in chat and let you guys fight over it. And whoever gets it first, good for you. Enjoy your $200 off. That's how we're gonna do it. And it was really funny because when I put that up to Payne, he was like, I could tell your facial expression. You were like, whoa, really? That's what we're doing? And I'm like, yep, we're just throwing it to the wolves and let them fight over it. So keep all that up and ready, available. We'll drop that at the end of the stream for sure.
Sounds good.
So answering this question here, can you talk about the process and some of the challenges, cost, and limitations involved in designing a new chip? And I think I know a little bit about this answer just because of the fact that I've talked with you many times, but talk to us a little bit about how long your new chip design was in R&D before you guys even released the DG1.
Yeah, that's loaded question indeed, and very technical. I try to answer that to my best ability. So like I said earlier, the company has been in existence for 4 years, right? Previous to when we released DG1. So that tells you how much preparation and how capital intensive it is, right? To start a ASIC manufacturer. Goes from procuring the wafer to designing the chip. All of our chips are in-house designed, right? So obviously that takes a long time and a lot of resources, right? And after you design it, we source really the best industry material, right? From the hash board to the motherboard to the shell to the fans to the PSU. So that's I guess that's one of the reasons why our miners don't break, right? Have very little issues. But then,
oh yeah, I've had no issues with mine since day one, and I don't even know the last time they got power cycled. They just run, which is fantastic.
Right. And you've been running the DG1 Plus for quite a while now, right?
I mean, whenever you guys released it, and I got an early one, yeah, it's been just set it, forget it, and let it run. Which I can't say that about some of your competitors. I'm not gonna lie. So just putting it out there.
yeah, and then putting these different parts together, right? And how do you make them run as a unit? Just like if you're comparing maybe this is not the best analogy, but if you're comparing like a MacBook to some sort of a Windows laptop,
sure.
Why is MacBook more expensive, right? Even though the hardware specs can be a little bit lower, it runs very smooth as a unit. Right?
Yeah,
that's another thing that we need to figure out, right? And that goes with a lot of iteration, a lot of trials and errors, a lot of improvement, a lot of testing at scale, right? Like we talked about this before as well. When we first launched DG1, we've been running, a large batch at one of our partner farms in Canada, right, for about a year. And
wow.
That process, we get a lot of feedback from the operations team. We look at what issues there were, and really go from there, right? So it's a time-tested product from the chip, for all the components that we have, right? And hopefully that kind of answers the question too.
Yeah, definitely. I want to speak on a little bit there because I know the answer to this, and I know the community is interested. You spoke about a partner farm up in Canada. That is not a pre-mine site. That is a QA site. Is that correct?
That's not a pre-mine site.
Yeah.
What is that? What do you mean?
Meaning, so a very should say a rumor, but a negative rumor that is out there is that a lot of these other manufacturers will pre-mine on their hardware until they then want to go ahead and sell it. Versus, I know the answer because I've asked this and we've talked about it before.
Yep.
But it is a QA site. It is purely meant for QA. It is not meant to pre-mine and then pass off that used miner to the community.
Exactly. It's purely a QA site. What I can guarantee everyone is that we do not use our miner to mine first and then sell it to you guys. Everything you get is brand new. And obviously, like you said earlier, we are a manufacturer. That's our niche. That's our focus. Right? We don't, as a manufacturer, we don't dabble into mining ourselves too much, right? Or at all. So no worries that everything you get will be brand new.
2 questions on the DG Home 1. Is it being shipped from China, or is it coming from your Delaware location?
So the DG Home 1 will come from Hong Kong. Hong Kong. We likely will have inventory here in our Delaware's warehouse, but just know the price will be a little higher because that will include shipping, obviously.
Yep. Got you.
Depends on how you look at it. We can do the price comparison when we do have inventory in Delaware and come December. But yeah, you'll have different options to buy from 2 different locations, most likely.
And this was more of a question, but it's more of a statement that people said in chat, and I agree with it. It would be sick down the road, as you guys talked about different iterations of the DG Home 1, and feel free to take this back, is to add some type of RGB to it, the light up logo of Elphapex on the front, or a green glow that goes underneath of it, or something like that. Like, we like to show off our fancy, as miners, we like to show them off. So you talked about it being a talking piece. Now, I get it. It's not for everybody. So maybe the option to turn that off in the dashboard would be cool. But yes, would love to see that in a future iteration for sure.
Gotcha. I think that's a cool idea. We'll definitely provide that back to our design and manufacturing team. I think there's so many different, features we can add on to or can play with, right? Like, now it feels like this for this colorway in particular feels like the Batman movie. There's the I forgot what that character is called, but it feels it kind of gives that vibe, right? Where it's like very can't really find the best word to describe it, but yeah, I think it will be very cool. The more controllability you have over the home miner, right? Turn things off. That'll be very cool.
We as miners want options. We don't like when people decide for us. Like, give us options and let us kind of go from there. I think that's why it goes back to a little bit on the conversation point we talked about with different hash modes. It's like, hey, let us decide, do we want to put it on low power mode versus normal mode? And that's why people are really interested in it for sure. By the way, Bitcoin just at 93.1, which I think is fantastic. Chad had mentioned it, which I think is great. But someone else in chat had asked about Wi-Fi. And so the DG Home 1 does have Wi-Fi as well as Ethernet. However, do the ones that ship in December come with the antenna, or do people have to source those themselves?
Yeah, so you and I talk about this, right? So the Home 1 in December, or I guess, let's talk about December. It won't come with the antenna. The antenna is a extra piece that you can feel free to add on to. It doesn't impact the Wi-Fi capability, right? So think of having an antenna, which is obviously very cheap from Amazon, like $5. It's like, think of it as your router, right? If you have a 2,000 square foot real estate, like you need to cover, and your Home 1 is on the corner of your real estate, and you need to have a better Wi-Fi reception capability, then go ahead and add an antenna. Right? It's just somewhere in your living room or close to the router, you don't need to have one.
Got you.
To add on to. And to answer the question, yes, the December batch will come with the Wi-Fi capability. You just need to set it up first time with Ethernet connected. Once you set it up, you can connect it to the Wi-Fi, and then you can unplug the Ethernet and move it to wherever you want.
Okay, cool. Fantastic. Sounds good. Yeah, I just wanted to answer that. I know somebody in chat had said, hey, wish I had a Wi-Fi. It absolutely does. And it is capable. In my video, I actually do show that. Like, it works. It's available. You can test it, which I think is great there. So, guys, we have about 6 minutes left. We're going to drop the code in chat at the very end of this stream. So keep an eye out for it. And we'll kind of go from there. I'd love to open up more questions in the chat. I've been trying to just naturally bring them into the conversation. So please feel free to comment in chat about that. Just thinking, what upcoming events do you guys have that Elphapex will be at showcasing some of your products?
So as you know, I'm pretty much at all these different conferences.
Yes, you are. Yep.
That was now to attend the NABS. I believe this should be our last official presence at any major conferences this year. Been a busy year for us. We've done a lot of people, which is quite amazing, to be honest. I may or may not go to Bitcoin MENA in Abu Dhabi end of the year. May or may not. Haven't decided yet. But the next one coming up that we'll for sure be at is going to be at CES in January in Vegas. It's going to be super cool. We're also there to learn. We're here to present and showcase the DG Home 1. So that'll be a major one coming up for us first thing next year. And then there are 2 events we go to every single year. One is Mining Disrupt, right? As you know, in Miami. We're going to have a big presence there.
Fort Lauderdale this year. New location, new convention center. Yeah.
Yep. So I believe we'll be there. This year we were the biggest sponsor in Miami.
You were? Yep.
And then that's one. The other one is Blockchain Live in Dubai, right? So we go there twice a year. And obviously there are many conferences scattered throughout the year, and most conferences, if you want to find me there, I will be there. Shoot me a message, shoot me an email if you want to meet up. Some of the conferences will have booths, some conferences we won't. It just
No, I think that's great. Yeah, if anyone's thinking about Mining Disrupt, I highly recommend it. As a miner, like if you're a home miner or mid-size miner or a larger miner, it's very hardware focused. A lot of other events are, a lot of booths and a lot of talking. Like this is very much miner focused. So I think Mining Disrupt is really one of the only ones out there, at least in the US, that is specifically focused on hardware. So I do recommend that you guys get out there. There's lots of shipping containers there and designs there. There's a lot of immersion that's there. A lot of manufacturers like Elphapex is there, and Bitmain and Canaan, and there's a lot of other ones that are out there that aren't coming to mind. But yeah, a lot of them actually have booths that are there. So I do highly recommend it. More and more content creators like myself have started going to this event over the last few years, just because it is very much like right after my audience. That is really the hands-on hardware group, which I think is great. Cool. Well, I like it. Let's see what other questions we got here. Let's see.
And while you're looking at the questions,
sure.
One more thing I want to kind of add is where we're talking about hydro, we're talking about air cooling. And when you mentioned, hey, are we going to adapt DG1 or DG1 Plus to a hydro version? So we've done that for immersion, right? So we can do it for immersion, right? We can have immersion specific PSUs be installed into DG1 Plus, right, before we deliver it. So if anyone out there is interested in immersion, happy to do that for you. And we work very closely with partners like Hash House, right? That they developed a full a tank that's that works very, very perfectly with DG1 Plus, right? We have a video of a full tank of DG1 Plus running in their Hash House immersion tank. So
that's cool.
If interested, feel free to reach out to me as well. Happy to have a conversation there.
Fantastic. Well, I think we're about at time here, Payne. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to drop the code in chat as we say goodbye. Feel free to go over and redeem it. You have to, once again, you got to be logged into Elphapex's website. You have to be signed into it, as I said, at the checkout page, ready to check out, and you can use that code there. It will give you $200 off, which I think is great. I mean, it's a great thank you, Payne. I appreciate you offering that to the community today, which I think is good. Other than that, Payne, appreciate your time today. I will go ahead and put your contact information in the video description for anyone watching this after the live stream, as well as I will share it in my Discord as well after today.
Sounds good. Thank you for the time. And just, I guess, one last note.
Sure, go for it.
If for some reason you have the promo code you cannot check out on the website, again, feel free to reach out to me directly.
Yep.
We'll honor that discount for you guys. And thanks again so much for the time, Hobbyist. It's a
absolutely.
It's an awesome conversation. Thank you so much for the time.
I always enjoy it. All right, guys. Well, thank you guys for joining us today for this quick 1-hour conversation with Payne from Elphapex on the DG Home 1 and the Hydro. I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Mining Disrupt 2025 is just around the corner, and I've partnered up with the team over at Mining Disrupt to help spread the word. If you're on the fence about going, I highly recommend it. This year, it's in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I've been to Mining Disrupt for the last 2 years, and I can't imagine missing it. Mining Disrupt is packed full of fellow crypto miners just like you and me. Whether you're a home GPU miner, a mid-sized farm operator, or a big hosting company, Mining Disrupt is a home for all crypto miners. At Mining Disrupt, you can expect brand new mining hardware releases, a chance to listen to amazing speakers, killer after parties, and a chance to meet your favorite content creators. Grab your tickets via the link directly down below or by scanning this QR code and you'll receive 20% off. I'll see you guys there.